Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to another episode of Dorm Talks with Chris and John. I'm your host, John. That is my co-host, Chris. Chris, how we doing tonight?
We are feeling good. We're always happy to be here, happy to be back, happy we're doing it on a Sunday, not having to record like a day or two later.
Yep, Sunday
But,
night, man.
thank you guys for the support on the Spotify. We really appreciate it. Like y'all don't believe it. Like every viewer counts, man. Seriously,
Yeah,
viewer counts.
yeah, we're just starting. We're just rolling out on Spotify this week and just seeing Spotify and Apple podcasts,
Hmm.
and just seeing like people like actually listen to our stuff and like listen to like the whole thing. It means a lot, man. We know we're small, but like every little bit, man, it matters. So we definitely appreciate that. I definitely uh want to reciprocate and double what Chris was saying.
Damn,
Uh
niggas had to one up. Oh. Y'all see this? Crazy, man. Fame hasn't even hit, and he's already trying to backdoor him. I can respect it though.
um I think what we should start with, because as soon as the day after we publish our last episode,
Yeah.
the Milwaukee Bucks decided to leap off a cliff with the amount of moves they made.
They
So
are an interesting team right now.
I just want to get your reaction to essentially trading Damian Lillard for Miles Turner and essentially paying Miles Turner $40 million a year with how they did it. Does it make any sense to you?
See, the Miles Turner acquisition in a vacuum is really good. Like,
Mhm.
just got back what Brook Lopez was at his best for y'all,
Yeah.
or better. Like Miles, his rebounding issues aren't going to be as big because he's next to Giannis now. His spacing's going to help. Like, yeah, he couldn't shoot at all in the finals. That's like probably a big why the Pacers let him go. Also, they weren't matching what the Bucks just gave him. Nobody is. But in a vacuum, I'm not mad at it. It's like it's like you have Giannis, so it's like you give him okay players and you'll probably be fine. Especially with how weak the East is.
Yeah.
But the Damian Lillard situation, that was crazy. That is number one, not even from a basketball standpoint, but like kind of feels messed up, to see
I
him like
mean,
leave it all on the floor. He literally left his Achilles on the floor. Like
yeah.
that.
I mean, he seems happy with it.
Yeah, he seems happy about it though, so great for him.
It's like it makes sense sort of to move off of Damian Lillard, especially if he was upset, but also when him and Giannis were on the floor together, they were good.
Yeah.
Like they weren't the problem. That the Damian Giannis connection was not the problem, because when they were both were going, they were hard to beat,
Yeah.
straight up. But it's like there was the health issues, there was a supporting cast being either really old or just bad.
There's a coach issue.
There's a big coaching issue, no matter who they had. Um, when you have Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham as your two head guys, it's just you're gonna get what you pay for. Like I understand moving off of Damian Lillard in a vacuum. I understand adding Miles Turner in a vacuum. The way they happen together and the way they happen free up money for Miles Turner and then like stretch Dame's contract to where you're screwed for 5 years in the future. It's just questionable, man.
I feel like at a point you just keep him. Especially if
Yeah,
Giannis seems like he's not asking out or anything. Like if they were trading away Giannis, like how I thought was gonna happen, I'm not mad at it, right?
yeah. If they were trading away Giannis, they wouldn't have picked up Miles Turner.
Exactly, right. But the fact that they aren't, it's like, well, okay, sure, you don't have Dame there, but who do you have?
Right. Who's gonna create on offense
Who
on
is
the
it?
on the perimeter? Kevin Porter
Oh,
Jr.
who the fuck is your boy?
It's
Kevin
Kevin
Porter.
Porter Jr. It's Kevin Porter Jr. That's who they have.
That's really they have Gary Trent. No, is Gary Trent been theirs?
Yeah, they resigned Gary Trent and Gary Harris.
That's not a real team. They're not a serious team. They can't be. No way you saw how wide
That team is
open.
unreal.
You know way you saw how wide open the East is, and this is what you're doing. I love this team. Thank God that the Hawks are going to be like the fourth seed, or they'd be really bad this year, or the Bucks would be really bad this year. East is horrible. The Bucks are just part of it.
It's it's so bad.
It's
It's really
terrible.
bad.
It's terrible. As a Sixers fan, it would hurt to see, but Gershon Yabusele to the fucking Knicks too.
I always hate like it's one thing them leaving, but then leaving and then saying, "Man, they lowballed me. Man, I wanted to come back, but they didn't want me." I
No,
was like,
you would go where the money was, man.
"Right," and
Maybe
it's like we're waiting for the Quentin Grimes contract. Like that was priority. And honestly, um, who do we get? What's his name? We just
that
signed
guy
him.
from the Nets.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I like him better than Yabusele.
really? I can respect.
Yeah.
I see his tape.
And it's like I liked him before the one mixtape of him cooking Yabusele came out. But
Dude, that shit was so. That was objectively the funniest thing from Was that Brett Usher that did that too, man?
I
Yeah, I
think
love that guy.
so.
Oh my God.
Because
Shout out him. He's given us the best SGA MVP like propaganda like all year.
everyone was like, man, I know why you put that clip first.
Yeah,
I know why.
it's Trendon Watford.
Trent Wofford. There you go. Um, yeah, I think he has a bigger offensive bag, and he's still going to be okay defensively.
Hmm.
He's more athletic. I think he's big. He's 6'9", I think. So he can slide into that four, whether it's coming off the bench or whatever. So I like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
And
that.
you're paying him less than the 6 million he's making, so it's like I think it's for a player that's potentially could be better. I think he has a potential to be. It is what it is. It is what it is. Um, yeah, and I think every week we're gonna put our fan questions on our Instagrams. Um, on my personal
Respond to
Instagram,
him.
on the Straight Up Sports and on the Media Yaps. So make sure you drop your questions in. I wanted to, since we're doing basketball, um, one of the questions we had was asking our takes on VJ Edgecombe's double double. Last night he matched up with Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey scored like 8 points,
8 points on 3 of 13 shooting.
and
Um,
VJ Edgecombe he shot chucked a little bit, but he went 20, 28, 13. A double double, almost 30 point double double, and I understand in general, summer league, you have to take it with a grain of salt because of like the game's just different.
mhm.
But with VJ, I was looking for specific things because I know what he can give me defensively. I
Mhm.
think there's rarely like a prospect that comes out of the draft and they're like scouted to be like a good defender and they go into the league and they're not a good defender. I think that
Yeah.
rarely happens. What does happen is if your offensive game doesn't translate to the NBA. I wanted to see tough shots from VJ. I wanted to
Mhm.
see playmaking. I wanted to see him attacking the rim, and I saw all three of those.
Yeah.
He tough mid range, got to the rim, had the dunks, was playmaking like on a
Confident ball handler. That is the biggest difference between him and a lot of these other smaller guards that are more
yeah,
defensive based. He's a confident guy. You can tell when he has the ball in his hands, he knows he can get to where he wants to get.
yeah,
Yeah. And that physicality is gonna allow him to get to his spots so much easier.
yeah. Because he's shorter, but he's a tank. He's
20.
like he's small, but he's not small small.
Yeah.
And I
Any of
think if
my
you
AU guys, y'all all know the short, strong ass guys that you gotta go up against 8 a.m. that bench 315 and they're shoving you down the court.
even when I played pickup, man, and I would be on those like guys that were like my height, which is like 5'11" or even shorter, and but they were just like built.
Just say you're 6 foot, man. You don't have to say 5'11". You don't have to say 5'11". We are live, my brother. You can just say 6 foot. Nobody's gonna come with a tape measure and check you.
So someone my height, 6'3", and still like built, it's like you can't. It's hard to guard. It's
Yeah,
tough. Um, so yeah, I think he'll be fine, and I think if you get to a point where he's the one guard and Maxi can go back to his two, which I think is where he's best at. I think you kind of set yourself up really good. Or if it's McCain there, whoever, I think you set yourself up really, really good.
yeah,
Um, and it's exciting. It really
yeah.
is.
Very exciting. Um, Speaking of basketball, even though they shouldn't, the NBA world has been talking. The biggest move in free agency so far, DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Are Do you feel it's a needle mover?
Talking about what they had before, yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, you know what DeAndre Ayton is, and he's not like the prototypical center you put with Luka Doncic. He's not going to be running the floor, um, like catching lobs. He's a finesse guy. He's a
yeah.
guy that in the paint do a little push shot, do a little fadeaway. He's not going to be like maybe he adapts his game and he's going to catch a few lobs. I think that'll suit Luka well, but he gives you at least some kind of presence that is better than having Jackson Hayes or whoever they had in there. So I
No more
feel like when
Cleveland Lakers fans. Don't worry. You got DeAndre Ayton.
yeah, eh, they're not making me say like, okay, Lakers can compete for a title now,
Yeah,
but they are like, okay, against Minnesota, they might have been able to like take a game or two.
yeah. Don't worry, Lakers fans. It went from going home in 5 to going home in 6 this time. Good
Right.
job, people.
It's like all Lakers fans were begging for 8. I'm like, you guys are going to be hunting him down come November.
Oh God.
But I don't know. I think there's definitely better options at center for them, but it's better than what they had. You didn't have to take on his contract. He got bought out, so it's like
Mhm.
you didn't have to give up any assets. It's fine.
Don't
It's
worry. You
fine.
didn't have any anyway, so fuck it. You're in the same boat you would have been.
Do you think LeBron James is going to get traded?
No. We had this discussion last time. He has the most untradeable con. He's the most
Oh, we
untradeable
did.
of the week. He's
We
like,
did. We did. I see. I don't because like once we dropped that episode, like everything happened.
yeah.
So yeah.
Guys, don't worry, Lakers fans. He's not getting traded because then you'd just be a crappier version of the Mavs that just went to the finals.
But hey, now they have a two-way wing in Bronny James, who scored 10 points in 11 minutes last night or today. And
And had a dunk that I keep seeing on my YouTube. Shout out Ronnie, man. I'm a big fan of him though. Seriously.
I'm rooting for him,
I'm a very
absolutely.
big fan of him. Just I wish he didn't play for that fucking team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
But
But all seriousness, we'll see. We'll definitely see something from him.
yeah, hopefully he actually gets some playing time. Hopefully he's
Get
worked
better.
into that.
Who else is playing over him? I see Gabe Vincent minutes over him. I'm gonna lose him.
You got a
JJ,
point.
JJ, I'm gonna step on you if you put Vincent in over Bronny. Just put him in.
You're gonna
You can't
step
get
on him?
you can't get much worse.
You can't.
You really
That
can't get much worse. I promise. You don't even have D'Angelo Russell there anymore. You can't pretend to have a good player.
Mavericks. Um. All right. Well, that's been our little basketball talk. I don't think anything else big happened.
I'm looking at the real life for everything. It's just a bunch of re-signings.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's been like a year since we've done one of these. Yeah.
Yep.
It
We're
feels like
we're since basketball kind of,
yeah,
took the
yeah.
spotlight a little bit.
It's been like
The
what, 2 weeks
finals
now?
happened. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. we're going back to our top 10 NFL positions. We're gonna hit the running backs tonight,
And
and
not our one guy who's known for running and known for other things. We're gonna talk about just running today, though.
but these are 10 guys that do have that dog in them. So we're gonna start with our honorable mentions. Um, this was a tough list, man.
Very tough list. Running backs
Um,
are some of the most insanely difficult positions to predict because you never know what's gonna happen with these.
yeah, I mean, I think these are really like this list could be entirely different by the end of the year. Um, it's just it's just guessing situation. Like that's a big part of it. So once I like my top four is pretty much cemented, but after that, it kind of gets crazy.
Yeah, my top five is six, actually. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm very curious where you have some of these guys compared to me, but we're gonna find out. Who do you have as your honorable mention? I think we both have two.
This one feels weird to put. Um, I still don't know if I feel completely confident putting him this low, but Jonathan Taylor,
Ooh,
yeah, I generally
ooh,
don't feel confident about putting him that low.
okay.
But as we all said, this is a projection list, and it's less on him and more like, yo, I have no idea what that team of his is doing right now.
The thing with that is they're gonna have to rely on the run game. He had 1,400 yards last year.
It's like it's less. He's not gonna have a good season, and I think the guys above. I, I'm lying. He's not my honorable mention. He's actually my number 10. My
Okay,
real honorable mention, James Conner.
James Conner.
Yeah, that's my honorable mention.
I like James Conner. I don't have him listed here, but I do like James Conner. I mean, touchdown machine.
Hmm.
Tough runner, downhill guy. Um, I like him. So it's James Conner. Do you have one or two?
Got one main one. The other ones are just kind of there, like Kenneth Walker.
Okay, that's
Like,
yeah. My two honorable mentions was Chuba Hubbard and Kenneth
oh
Walker.
shit, I forgot much. Why did I forgot he existed. I'm not gonna
Chuba
lie.
Hubbard, man, talk about underrated. Just a guy who, I mean,
Oh, sorry. My other honorable mention, Joe Mixon.
oh yeah, Joe Mixon had a great year. Joe
Yeah,
Mixon, absolutely, he's honorable mention for me. He didn't make my top 10,
yeah,
but Joe Mixon had a great year.
yeah. Completely forgot about him. Oh my God. And David Montgomery, but I don't really talk about him. I'm sorry, that felt weird, but I don't know.
Here, yeah. All right.
That man touches. I don't want to see him touch the football. Lions fans, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose early in the playoffs. Sorry. I'm
One
sorry.
and done.
But it died. Let's go. Best offense of all time. Lose to the Commanders. Let's go. Let's go.
Jared, 4 picks golf. Let's go, bro.
Jared Goof.
Jared Goofy Goof. Kenneth Walker is a name we both said.
Mhm.
And he's a guy that it's like, if he stays healthy, he's like a top running back in the league, but he just doesn't play.
Yeah.
He just doesn't play. And it's like, dude, you're
Yeah.
so good.
That's the
Like,
little scary.
that offense line is, I mean, they were having Jason Peters play. Like,
He's not retired yet. Yeah.
he just retired
Oh, he just
finally.
retired. Yeah, yeah, you're actually right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That
Dude, he should have retired in 2018.
he should just retired with us. What?
I don't know, man. All right.
What?
Who is your number 10 running back?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan. That's right. That's right. You said that.
Yeah. It's less
Um,
he's gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be as good, and more like I have very high hopes for all the guys above him
hmm.
going into
Okay.
next season. He's gonna still definitely have a good counting year. Obviously, we know this,
Yeah.
but I think we're gonna see a lot of really good running back seasons this year, at least.
for sure.
We're gonna see teams go back to the run game because every year that one team wins the Super Bowl in a way that's not like exactly the same as last year, we see other teams like to pick that stuff up. We saw after the Doug Peterson, Nick Foles Eagles won a Super Bowl, all of a sudden fourth downs are like fucking everybody do it.
Yeah,
So I think it's gonna be the same with this Eagles team. We're gonna see teams go like, oh, we can lean on our star running back and have our quarterback just play really good when the lights are bright.
yeah. Yeah. More and more teams are going to rely on their running back. And I think that's why I have Jonathan Taylor higher. But I agree with like there's going to be so many guys that are like competing for that top spot in terms of running backs and counting stats. Like we had like four really good running backs drafted in this draft alone. And
Yeah.
running backs, their impact is almost immediate when they come to the league. There's very little running backs that need time to develop. If you have it when it comes to
Mhm.
running backs. Um, so I definitely see the vision with there's so many good players. It's hard to project him being super high. I just think the way their quarterback options are Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones and their offensive line, although they lost a lot of guys on offensive
Mhm.
line, I expect them to not be the same as they were 2 years ago when Jonathan Taylor had a rough year. I expect him to get a lot of the load, a lot of the carries, and still put up numbers and still be really effective. Because there were stretches in the second half of the year where he was like the best back in ball.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't accidentally get 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns. So I just like him a lot, and you'll see me put him a little bit higher on this list. My number 10 is a guy I think should have been relied on a whole lot more,
Yep.
specifically in the playoffs, and that is James Cook of
He was like right on the teetering edge of my honorable mentions actually. Very
yeah,
good. Very good player. We saw so much from him in that play in that postseason run.
yeah, I think, and I think he's gonna bring it this year
Hmm.
because
Oh yeah, the whole contract.
yeah, he's on the contract year. He wants to be paid big.
Mhm.
He's gonna ball out this
He's
year,
gonna have a good year this year.
and
That's your sleeper fantasy pick this year, man.
I think he's a great fantasy
Yeah,
pick. And I
he's gonna be
think
good.
in that playoff game, like he had like 80 yards early, and they just stopped going to him and let Josh Allen play hero ball, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, dude, go with what's working. Running the
Yeah.
ball against teams like the Chiefs is not easy to do. If
Hmm.
you're able to do it, keep doing it, man. And
Shout
I
out
think
to
he's a
Ravens.
guy. Yeah.
Nah, sorry.
Listen, I he's he's good for explosives. He's good for being a methodical back. I just think I think he's really good, and we're only going to see him get better. And I wanted to put him in the top 10 to kind of give him that recognition. So
Yeah,
I like James Cook a lot.
I respect that.
Who you got number 9?
Okay. Ooh, he is my sleeper fantasy pick. Last year it was Brock Bowers, who's my like later, who should have been higher guy, Ashton Genty.
Okay, that's the
Um,
guy I was kind of I said I texted you today. I was like, I wonder where you're going to put this guy
yeah,
because placing rookies is tough.
it's so tough. It feels
But with
weird.
Ashton Genty, I can't pick 10 running backs better than Ashton
I
Genty.
can't.
I can't do it.
This is the NFL is not like the NBA. These rookies could come in and immediately be one of the best players in the league, and it's not
Look
a
at Bucky Irving.
yeah. Like we just saw it happen. Like Ashton Genty has the tools to be one of those guys.
Mhm.
Like
He's like a better prospect than Saquon coming out of the draft. Like
exactly.
legit, and that's saying a ton. Um, yeah, I
He
mean,
fell so low because of what his position is. And the guys that were above him are like, oh, you gotta take this guy here and this guy here.
and so many teams tried trading up for him.
Mhm.
He was gonna go even earlier, but listen, that's an offense where you got guys like Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers is an okay wide receiver, right? But it's like you're gonna want to rely on this run game
Mhm.
to give you that production and to help Gino out. take some pressure off of him, especially when you're in a new system with now Pete Carroll's that coach. And
Hmm.
Pete Carroll loves those big running backs with explosive plays. I mean, he sees this and he's like, "Well, I got Marshawn again.
I got beast mode back. Like
Just like
2 years
maybe could
later.
be better." Like if we're being real, so it's like I expect huge thing from him out the gate. I
Yeah,
think I think the Raiders was one of the best spots he could have gone to.
yeah. The Raiders are, I'm not gonna say as a team they're to look out for, but as far as individual players go, please set your fantasy filters to Raiders.
I don't know. We'll talk about this, but I like the Raiders, man.
I don't know.
We got some time, but
We can talk about this, yeah.
we're gonna go through divisions and stuff once our rankings are over.
But yeah,
Once they're
let's
done.
go with your who's your number nine?
Speaking of touchdown machines, when we talked about James Conner, the touchdown machine, the touchdown man, Kyron Williams
Yeah.
of the Los Angeles Rams. Um, I think I underrated just how good he was last year.
Yeah.
um, because I was like, man, he had over 1,400 yards and all those touchdowns. And it's like every time he played us, like he was always pretty productive. Like we shut him down for the most part, but so
Mhm.
did we against most running backs. But it's like he was so productive and like super efficient when he got in the red zone. Like you can't really name a better red zone back than Kyron Williams. And I mean, I think that people hesitate to put him in like these big conversations, but I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it. He has the production for it. Um, so I think he's firmly at the number nine. I could see him getting higher if he has an even bigger breakout year.
I can respect that, yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was my
Kyron
guy.
Williams.
And speaking of that amazing touchdown machine, at my number eight spot, Kyron Williams.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
You said
That's
everything.
so funny.
Yeah, he is, in my opinion, the most underrated player in the league. I feel like I had not heard not one person speak about him. The only person that I heard talk about him was my boy that kept trying to trade for him on my fantasy. uh, because that man, oh my gosh.
That's listen. I mean,
Means I know he didn't look that good against us, but against everybody else,
he was good, man.
that's a guy.
And I think it's funny because right there our lists are flipped because Ashton Genty's my eight.
Mm. You got him over Kyrie coming in?
Yeah.
I
I
respect.
think not only is he gonna be red zone guy, I think he's gonna beat every down.
Hmm.
Just I think he's gonna be like a top offensive player within the next 2 years. I
Okay.
think I think he's just going to be an offense. And Kyron is a amazing accessory in addition to an offense.
Hmm.
Ashton Genty is going to be an offense.
Okay.
And the only thing, like the rookie tax, is the only thing that's stopped me from putting him at five. Like
Mm.
that's how high I am on Genty right now, and how I think he's gonna crack that top three next year.
Oh my gosh, you think he's gonna go into the upper echelon with those guys?
Yes, yeah, I firmly believe that,
I can respect
and
that.
I think we often see like these guys kind of come off a rough start a little bit, getting groove
Mhm.
on, but like, or we saw guys like Saquon go out the gate their rookie year and have one of their best seasons out the gate.
Mhm.
I think I know the Raiders have their like question marks, but I feel like he's
He's
gonna be
not one
set
of them.
up. He's gonna be set up fairly well, and Pete Carroll's gonna want to run the ball. And I know they have other guys in that backfield, but I think you're gonna see very early on that this is gonna be your go-to guy,
Yeah.
and you're gonna want to run an Eagles type offense to kind of counteract it. And we think of where Chip Kelly came from when he was offensive coordinator of Ohio State, and he had a okay quarterback in Will Howard that had a big arm. could make plays, but he wasn't no world beater. I mean, he was like a sixth or seventh round pick for a reason. But
Mhm.
you utilize and lean on your weapons. They had two really good running backs in Ohio State that both got drafted very high.
Mhm.
And Chip Kelly, he's going to want to rely on those running backs. When he came to Philly, the first thing he did was bring in DeMarco Murray, Ryan Matthews, two. They were at the time they were two really good running backs in the league, and he brought them both in. And he's going to want to rely on the run game and make that be a spark to his offense. So I think that that's just going to make the sky the limit for Ashton Jeanty, and I'm super optimistic and excited to see what he does this first year.
Yeah, I like that. I can respect that. Yeah,
And this is not my Boise State fan bias talking at all,
at
because
all.
I've been a lifetime Boise State fan, but I think talent is talent, and I mean he's got the home run speed, he's got the strength, he's got the ability to be like a ping pong ball just bouncing off of defenders. He's he's one of the most complete backs we're going to see in the league, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I like that. I respect it.
All right, who do you have number seven?
Um, Bucky Irving.
Bucky Irving. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
I like
This
it.
is at the end of the day, this is a projection list. And the only thing stopping me from putting him above these next couple guys is I'm expecting some big years out of their teams and out of them. Uh Bucky Irving, such a small amount of attempts, and he's still cracking top 10 in the league
He's
as far as the
nuts.
stats go. He's like 50 attempts behind everybody else at the least, and he's still right there with them.
So he led the league with 3.93 yards after contact per attempt.
Hmm.
So he's a guy gets tackled, that first contact, he's still going. You're gonna have to get a lot of guys to bring him down. And he's so good after contact, in open field. Got that again, that home run speed. Bucky Irvin's gonna be one of those dudes,
Yeah, yeah, seriously. There's a reason you hear every Buccaneers fan just singing his praises to God.
and they should. They
Yeah,
really should. The Buccaneers are gonna be good, man.
but
They're gonna be one of those teams in the NFC.
they're gonna beat us in the fucking divisional again. God damn. No,
I
no,
like the Buccaneers as a
no,
team, but
no, they're not being. But in all seriousness, very nice addition to that Buccaneers offense. Like when you think of high-powered superstar offense like the Buccaneers, that's a guy you just have to immediately come to mind.
yeah,
Very.
I think it's funny like where they were coming from. Like they were just getting old guys. Like
Mhm.
they brought like LaShawn McCoy in. They brought like Leonard
Oh,
Fournette in,
yeah, Leonard Fournette.
playoff Lenny, and it's like now we get like a rookie that he's our guy, and he's gonna like we have him for like Tom Brady's probably like, man,
Brady's like, what's that, man?
I could have stayed another year. Like
No. Tell Satan to stay out of football. I don't want it near me. You hurt me enough.
I've already mentioned too many dark magic NFL names already. Chip Kelly and Tom Brady
Fucking
within.
furniture's floating, dude.
um, yeah, my number seven.
Mhm.
This is where I have Jonathan Taylor.
Mm.
Um,
I see why
I
you're so high on him, though. He's as he should be.
I mean, 2 years ago he was like one of the best backs in the league, and I think the year before he was dealing with injuries. There
Yeah.
was a whole contract mess. There was a holdout. The offensive line was bad, and now this year he kind of had a reset, and we saw again why he's that guy. And again, we already talked about him, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. But I mean, I think Jonathan Taylor is just one of those guys that can create big plays and can flip a game around with
Mhm.
one handoff. He's just in that category, and not everyone's like that. There's very few running backs like that. Um. So yeah, who's your number six?
My number six is Mr. Josh Jacobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same. Same.
Really?
Josh Jacobs is my six.
You're number five. Whatever. We'll get to that. Your number five better not be mine. Uh, Josh
I don't
Jacobs.
think it will.
Yeah, it better not be. I hope it's not. Uh, my number five is a. Oh, I am very feeling crazy. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking about number five. Number six, Josh Jacobs. You said he was yours as well?
And then number six.
Okay, cool. Um, I mean, shit. He was a great addition to that Green Bay Packers offense. He gave them a whole another dimension. Touchdown machine, man. Like number one.
Oh, was he number one?
Well, no. Well, he wasn't number one. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I was,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
nah. But no, I mean, yeah. He was a touchdown machine. I mean, he not perfect, obviously. Had some issues, fumbles, but this is the Green Bay Packers. If he's not a superstar player with like some glaring turnover issue, then he's probably not a Packer. So,
Yeah. I mean, Josh Jacobs, him and Saquon helped like revitalize this running back market because I mean he was coming off a Vegas year where he was like he only played 13 games, 800 yards. It was
mhm.
like, is this really a guy you want to pay? And remember, they let I always forget the running back's name.
Who was it?
Who's on the Vikings now?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
And they let him go, and we're like, why? Because when they signed Josh Jacobs, I was like, oh, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, I like that.
This
But
back.
then they release Aaron Jones, and I'm like, huh, that's a little odd,
Right.
but okay. And man, it was the right move
Yeah.
because he jumped right back into, I mean, right back to his peak form. I
Hmm.
mean, it's not 2022. He was ridiculous. 1,600 yards, led the league. Was like ripping off these long yards, but he had 1,300 yards. He was, I mean, carrying that offense. The Packers had a way better offense than people like think they had, and a lot of that was off of Josh Jacobs and his ability to rip off big runs, just be a yards and downs eater, and he put himself right back into the position of one of the best backs in the league.
His consistency is going to help with the fact that Jordan Love might be one of the most inconsistent people on the planet right now.
I mean, that's the thing when you have an inconsistent quarterback, you rely on your run game,
You're
and
going to love to rely on that run game. So if
mhm.
this Packers team is going to continue to keep trying to make these deep playoff runs, we're going to see something from this guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be huge for him.
He's going to be huge.
His production's not gonna dip.
Nope.
Yeah, shout out to Josh Jacobs, man. Who's your five? You seem excited about this guy.
CMC.
I don't have Christian McCaffrey on my list at
Yeah, I
all.
don't have him on your list at all.
He's just a question mark for me. I don't know what to think of him.
He is, but I'm willing to take that risk.
They shipped him off to Germany to get a new leg. Like,
Yo, yo, he's coming back with some crazy German science.
I hope so. I respect McCaffrey, and I'm gonna let you talk. I just have no idea. So, like, you're optimistic, so I'm just gonna let you. I'm gonna let you have the floor. I'm gonna let you cook.
Look,
Convince me.
look, I get it. I get it. We saw him come back just to like have his leg just turn into jerk chicken immediately right after anyway. Which I get, but this 49ers team, number one, is due for a bounce back.
Hmm.
They've gotten worse, obviously. We know we've seen all the stuff about them, but I don't expect him to be like as injury prone this year. That's like the
Okay.
first biggest thing about it. I don't expect him to like have his legs just completely like just die on him
Yeah.
like this year. He's not gonna have the mana curse. That's his big thing. Um, I don't know if people are forgetting how good this guy was. Like, you had people genuinely saying that was the number one, not running back, just best player in the league
Oh, he was
over
ridiculous.
guys like Patrick Mahomes, when Aaron Donald, when come on.
Yeah.
When people said best player in the league, Christian McCaffrey was one of those guys that came to mind. So it's not a that's why I have him at number five though. I don't think he's gonna come back to this number one ridiculous, like he's just carrying that 49ers offense type of guy. I don't see him coming back to that, especially with how
Yeah,
good the four guys in front of him are. But I can't really realistically say that he's just
yeah,
not as good as he's gonna be. So while he could be injury prone again, like you really don't recover from like your legs just dying on you like that. You can also come back. Like, like, I don't even.
yeah. I see the vision for sure.
Yeah.
I think if anyone has a chance to come back, it's it's gonna be him. I just worry like you're 29 now with a big injury history for
Mhm.
running back. That's like very murky waters, murky territory, and you know he's a very shifty guy. Like he's one of the best dual threats, and his big thing is he's gonna make you miss. And when you have like I think it was his hamstring, which was hamstring quads was the issue. When you're putting so much pressure on that pivot and you're like putting your foot in the ground and you're turning, I really worry about that. And I don't know. I think if he's back at 80% of what he was, he's still gonna be a top 10 back.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't see a guy that's that good of a dual threat as a running back and like as a partial receiver at times like that, just not being like still a demon when he gets back.
Yeah.
So, I have him at number five. Obviously he could just drop off the list straight up or shoot back up to like top two, top three, and I would not be surprised. So yeah, he is a very big question mark. Like I'm not mad at you for not having him on your list.
Yeah.
I just want to
It
look at number five. But I'm gonna
my
let you
number
know
f-
what you were just about to say.
we go I was just gonna say that yeah, I just had to put him in a question mark because I don't think he's not a top 10 player. I just have no idea what we're going to come in with if he's going to come in and play week one. Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's why we're
Um,
here for projections.
yeah, listen, I respect it. Is there anything else you want to say about CMC?
Nope.
All right, my number five is Bucky Irving, man. Bucky Irving, number five. I mean, we already talked about him. I just think he has an ability. I don't think he's scratched the surface of what he can be,
Hmm.
and I think we're going to see him take a leap now that that offense is even more like established. They got more weapons loaded up. They're going to have more attention.
Hmm.
They have to put more attention on the outside with Mbuka going into their wide receiver core. So they're got three big guys. They have guys at every level, and I think it's just going to allow it to open up for Bucky, and I think he's going to etch his name as one of the top guys, and I see him being able to do more than a Josh Jacobs and a Jonathan Taylor. Like I see him as better than those guys, and I'm projecting him to be better.
Okay. I like that.
So yeah,
I like it. I feel like the next four are gonna be pretty easy. I would be very surprised if you have a different list
it's
from
going to be the same four guys. It's probably might be yeah.
four for me, Bijan Robinson.
Agree, yes. Should we go?
Yeah, you want to just go through?
Yeah. So Bijan's four, three, Jameer,
Yep. Number two is
two,
gonna be Derrick
Derrick
Henry,
Henry,
and
and
number
one
one,
Saquon.
say say Sean Barkley.
Shay Sean Bar. It's a bird. It's
It's
a
a
plane.
plane.
It's
No,
Sa- it's
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley. Listen, let's start because we could talk about Saquon Barkley all day.
Saquon saved my life. I saw Saquon save a cat out of falling out of a tree.
Shout out Say Maga, man. Shout out Say Maga. Um,
Joe, my boy don't got internet. He don't got internet. He don't got internet.
he didn't
Guys,
know. He didn't
guys,
know.
please, guys, please. We have to have a counterbalance. We can't have Jalen Hurts and then Saquon just be perfect too.
He
We
thought
have
he
to.
was still the guy on The Apprentice. He didn't know he was even president. He didn't know.
Oh my
He
God.
didn't
Oh my
know.
God. Ryan Rollins to the Bucks is returning to the Bucks.
Who is Ryan Rollins? Yo, Sham's got to put the phone down for these deals,
He's
man.
washed already. It's not. You're not built for it, pal.
Shout out Ryan Rollins, man.
Shout out Wash, man. Come back. I need my watch bombs back, please. I've got Shams shooting at me with pellets.
Oh, Woj, please come back, dude.
Woj,
Please save.
please.
Yeah, I thought Sean was getting a little too much hate, but then I got a Ryan Rollins 3-year deal notification that just pissed me off.
Yo, he did it like 3 different times too. There's like 3 different tweets about this. Shams started a thread. What is there to talk about?
In
It's
in two
Ryan.
hour in 2 hours, we're gonna get a notification more about the ESPN story about Ryan Rollins return to the Bucks. That's so crazy, dog. All right, Bijan Robinson. I think I had a hard time saying who I wanted as my 4 and 3 because I think him and Jameer are so close.
Mhm,
I'll say why when we get to Jameer, why have him there.
mhm.
But man, I think Bijan might have had the quietest 1,500 yards
I think so, yeah, too. Yeah.
that a running back could have.
Yeah.
And don't forget, he shares the backfield with Tyler Algier.
Hmm.
So, I mean, he could have 2,000 yards easily. And we're going to say similar things about Jameer. But, I mean, when he came out of the draft, he was one of the best running back prospects. And man, he carried an offense that was Kirk Cousins led for most of the season. And
God damn.
for a
Yeah.
time, they were like they were like a top team after the before the Kirk Cousins mishaps just became too much. But it's like,
Where Kirk
man, I mean,
started Kirkin.
before his Achilles started falling off the bone again. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's one of those complete back guys. Like he doesn't have like the top home run speed, but he has enough where he can hit those big runs. And he's just a tank, man. He's just gonna run through. He's gonna make you miss tackles as well. And he's just one of those guys. And I think I mean, he's in the top tier of running backs. All 4 of these guys are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
so if you have anything to say about Bijan or we want to go right to Jameer.
Um, nah.
All right.
Nothing that I can say that hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at his attempts compared to everybody else and then his production.
It's
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 great.
nuts.
It's
It's
great.
nuts.
It's
All right,
great.
why
Touchdowns, high yards. What you need? Little fumbles. Perfect. It's
he's
just he just so happens to be competing against guys who are also perfect.
yeah. I mean,
The whole
these 3 guys are ridiculous. Speaking of these 3 guys, tell us about Jameer Gibbs.
man. What have we not said about Jahmyr Gibbs? Um, I know we talk about Bijan having like one of the quietest seasons, but I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs is just like quietly just kind of appeared as a and established himself as a top tier running back. You know, I don't mean like in the spaces of people that do this for a living, obviously they'll know about him. But as far as people as the casual fan goes, it's like Sonic the Hedgehog just appeared out of nowhere,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
I
with how this Lions offense, I think is going to be a lot less like rain to BS go and more streamlined type of thing, especially with how their playoff, how their loss against the Commanders went, where it looked like Jahmyr Gibbs got literally whatever he wanted.
it was ridiculous.
They're gonna lean on him a lot more. So I'd very much expect him to have a better season right than anybody else on this list.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he kind of because I was kind of at the beginning of the season, I was like, okay, he's your he's your speed guy, he's your Darren Sproles, right? He's this guy in this utility, and that's kind of what he was out of the draft. He was like more of a utility guy, which is why
Mhm.
people were so surprised when he went like 12 to the Lions.
Yeah.
But I think when David Montgomery went down, and I was like, man, that 1-2 punch was one of the deadliest 1-2 punches we've ever seen. I was like, this is going to take an element out of the run game, so I expect the run game to get worse. It got better.
Yeah.
He was one of the most untouchable guys in the league.
Mhm.
And that playoff game, just watch him like this guy, this there were times where he was legit number two, and he was really on Saquon's heels, man. Like that's how ridiculous. Like every play seemed like it could have gone for a touchdown with him.
Yeah.
Just the speed he gets off the line, the way he's able to make you miss. He's super shifty, super fast, and there's just nothing you can do. And
Mhm.
he's just I mean, he's ridiculous. He really is. And I think he's going to be firmly number two very soon,
Yeah.
if not one. If not one. Um, all right, Derrick Henry somehow still kicking, man.
That old fuck.
He's
Sorry.
never he's never going to go away, man.
Nah, what can we say about him that hasn't been said? You know, unfortunately, he's also in the James Cook situation where he's playing on a team that just says to their superstar QB, "Yo, I need you to go become Superman, or we're gonna lose the game." Because
Yeah,
there's no good reason Derrick Henry should only have 84 yards in a winner go home game.
yeah.
Let's be for real.
No, it's exactly right. I
Let's
mean,
be honest.
Derrick Henry is just like he's just like one big muscle.
He just
Like
he's this big tank that also happens to have the engine and the wheel of a Supra.
at age 32.
Exactly.
Um, it's it's quite ridiculous how he still like doesn't even look like he took a step back.
Nope.
And the versatility he gives his Ravens offense makes them like made them that much scarier. And which is why that was their year to do it, man.
Yeah.
And I mean they get another crack at it, but to have a historical year from Lamar and have a historical year from Derrick Henry, I mean,
You have the
you
greatest
only
rushing attack of all time, and you
yeah, I mean, we came into the league saying into the season because he was like okay last year at Tennessee,
yeah.
but we came in like okay, Derrick Henry just has to be like 80% of what he was.
Yeah.
He was even better than he was last year.
Yeah. I was
And
expecting it to be like an AJ Brown thing when he went to the Eagles. Have immediately your best year, and all of a sudden this team's looking at a Super Bowl.
and I did not expect it to be at age 32 where that happens, but it did. And
And
it it was insane. And I mean, you still got to give him respect as a top running back because man, I
I won't
mean,
lie. I can expect Jahmyr Gibbs to overtake this spot, but I'm also like, until I see it, I won't say it
right. I'm not gonna say Derrick Henry's gonna take a step back until he does.
because he's supposed to take a step back like 3 years ago.
Exactly.
So
He's he's
he's
gonna go down as one of like the all time great.
yeah,
Like,
like
I
we
mean,
hopefully we see the Ravens really run him, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason. Because you heard
preferably in the
Squidward's saying
postseason.
perfectly. I prefer them to do a lot of things in postseason, you know, we especially if you hear a lot of Ravens fans, they're like, "Oh, he had a better season than Saquon did," or if he had those type of attempts, he would have done the same. But it's like, hey man,
Maybe, like maybe.
he probably could have, but you also have to look at your team. So those projections, like going into next season, I it's a thing of I think he's still number two, but his stats aren't going to say it until the postseason hits. Hopefully, hopefully they see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, I think when you have that, you have the greatest uh quarterback running threat of all time, and then you have one of the greatest power backs who is so much more than just a power back. Like you have guys like he's like LeGarrette Blunt and Jahmyr Gibbs is one. Like that, not exactly Jahmyr, but like you know what I'm saying. Like
yeah, no, yeah.
he's not just this big guy that's gonna push you for few yards. He's gonna run over you, but he's also gonna run through you and by you.
Exactly.
And that's what makes him so good.
Yeah.
And there were stretches where he was legitimately the best running back in the league.
Hmm.
Um, Saquon just did that more consistently and more dominant, but it's close, man.
And you look cooler doing it.
And he looked cooler doing it. I didn't see Derrick Henry jumping backwards over people,
Yeah.
um,
It shouldn't even be physically possible to fucking
or
do.
hitting like 2 60-yard runs a game like he was doing. I think
He,
Saquon had like 960 plus. Like I guess we can talk about Saquon now because oh my god, like that was ridiculous. That season, and I'm still not over it. Just like you bring him in, and everyone's like overpay. Uh, he's washed. He's hurt all the time. This and I did a video like when we signed Saquon, and I was like I compared his yards to away stadiums to MetLife, and he was legit better away than he was at MetLife at that field.
really.
And I was like, he's gonna have such a better field, better offensive line, like everything's better for him.
Hmm.
Better defense backing him up. It's like,
Yeah. You see what happens when you have offensive line, actual quarterback play, and other competent players, and a defense that doesn't make your offense have to just get on the field like this.
yeah, it means the world. I mean,
It,
he just played free, man. He really did.
he was allowed to do what he should have been doing for years now.
Yeah. It was a legit case of you're being held back and this is what you're seeing when you're in a better system, which doesn't it usually happens too late.
Hmm.
And this time it happened just at the right time. And I mean, he made him and Jalen Hurts made each other better,
Hmm.
but he was so good that he brought down Jalen Hurts' conversations because we were able to rely on a run game.
Yeah,
When you have a good run game, you're always going to rely on the run game first.
exactly.
It's more secure, it's
Mhm.
safer, it runs the clock down. Every metric says it makes more sense to run the ball when you're good at running the ball.
Yeah.
Every metrics tells you that. So yeah, your passing yards are going to look worse because you have Saquon Barkley to rely on, and you're going to give him the rock,
Yeah.
especially when he's doing what he's doing. So
And he's also super underrated as a dual threat receiver, as a dual threat running back receiver.
yeah,
I can't tell you how many times he had a downfield catch, like right at the end zone or in the end zone.
the two that come to mind is the one against the Packers, first touchdown as Eagle. He was like toe tap and like on the sidelines, and then he had the one against Jacksonville, which is very similar.
Yeah.
Um,
And the one against the Chiefs.
and then when I get that
You showed exactly what happens when you try to box him in. You allow him to become a receiver, and you're not sending the blitz at Jalen Hurts, and all of a sudden he's still getting the ball.
and he stuck to him like glue, man. I mean, he brought that down, and he's definitely an underrated receiver, which you don't talk about much, but he gives you all that, and even when you have a guy like Kenneth Gainwell who's able to catch the ball in the backfield, when you're three down back can also do that, it gives you a whole other dimension with your play calling.
Yeah, yeah. Transcendental athlete. Transcendent?
Transcendent. Yeah.
Transcendent. And a smart one here. Uh, Incredible athlete. He just don't got internet. That's all it is. Um, please ignore everything that you might see on Twitter about him. Please, I'm begging. Uh, you know,
Listen, he's like
we're just
just
hoping and praying.
because
We're just hoping and praying about the Madden curse, obviously.
Yeah. Like as long as Madden Curse works out and he stays off the golf course, we're gonna be all right, I hope.
Only red hat I want to see him wearing is a Pokemon hat.
Listen, no more red hats for Saquon, dog.
No more red
No
hats.
more.
No more meetings. Nothing.
No more bring the guys to meet Ivanka, whatever the heck that was. None of that.
Who's the player that was like, yo, she's
Eli
fine.
Ricks,
Yo. Yeah. Oh my God. It was so funny watching that unfold.
every NFL team has something. It's like everything goes well. There's always something that's just embarrassing. And that was, it's like, they're like, oh, what do you guys say about what do you say about your play? It's like, I don't know what to say, man. My quarterback is cool. That's all I know.
My quarterback is the definition of aura. I'll be fine.
Yep. I
Yeah,
got,
I just my quarterback wouldn't be able to just do that without touching it with his hand.
you did.
It would have just
Oh man, shout out Jalen Hurts. Shout out Saquon Barkley, the player. Um,
shout
uh,
out Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
shout out Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Um, we're gonna run through our running backs real quick, and then we'll get on out of here. Um, so for me, at 10 I have James Cook, 9 I have Kyron Williams, 8 I have Ashton Genty, 7 I have Jonathan Taylor, 6 I have Josh Jacobs, 5 I have Bucky Irving, 4 Bijan Robinson, 3 Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 Derrick Henry, 1 Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Honorable mentions are James Cook and James Conner. And 10, Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty at 9, Kyron Williams at 8, Bucky Irving at 7, Josh Jacobs at 6, Christian McCaffrey at 5, Bijan Robinson at 4, Jahmyr Gibbs at 3, Derrick Henry at 2, and Saquon Barkley at number 1.
Awesome. Awesome. We have one more fan question, and then we'll get on out of here. And that is, do you think the chances of the AFC West having a new winner is high?
Absolutely not. It's not because I don't think the Broncos are a good team. They are a good team on paper. They should. The Chargers, as we mentioned in our quarterback video and our wide receiver video, a lot better. They should be better this year. Raiders, very heavy sleeper team, but I don't care. The Chiefs have consistently shown the ability to just win. Like, there's
Yeah.
not much else you can say about it. They just win. They win when it counts. They win when it matters. And even when they don't win when it matters, it's because they were going up against a team that was just too good.
I think people forget they went 15-1 last year.
And it was probably their worst season like ever.
Yeah.
Not ever, but like in the Patrick Mahomes era, have they had a worse season where everybody's been doubting this offense as much?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, it was definitely the worst one-loss team of all time.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and listen, they've gotten better. You expect their receivers to be back. You expect them to be better. Defensively, they lost some pieces. Offensive line, they lost Joe Tooney. So it's like a lot of it is like we have to see where it shakes out. The reason I say yes to this question is because out of all of the years that we've seen it, I think this is the best opportunity for someone to knock him out
Mhm.
because I can see a world where the three other teams make noise.
Yeah.
I could see the Chargers defense playing well and Justin Herbert having an amazing year, and I could see them winning division. I
Yeah.
could see Bo Nix not having a sophomore slump, and that defense is going to be absolutely
It's
ridiculous. That defense, like top to bottom, is ridiculous. And I could see if their offense is like good, I could see making noise with that combination.
mhm.
I could see the Raiders. The Raiders obviously have the most holes, but I could see Geno Smith having a top 10 NFL season, and play like a top 10 quarterback,
Mhm.
and I can expect Ashton Genty to have a big year, Brock Bowers to have a big year, their receivers to do better.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be a little better. So I can see a world where they're making noise in the playoff hunt. So I think there's just more competition than there's ever been in the West. So I probably put my money on the Chiefs winning again.
Mhm.
But do I think the chances that they could be knocked down higher than they have been? Absolutely.
I would not
Absolutely.
be surprised if the outcome is that the Chiefs do eventually pull through in the playoffs, but they don't win the division.
Yeah. I
I
could
could
see
very much see that outcome
I could see them sneaking the wild card and just like,
and just doing what they usually do.
yeah.
Yeah, because you're absolutely right. I don't know if that team is built for the regular season right now.
Yeah, it's a, a lot of the Chiefs like decisions is wait and see because who knows how good like if Travis is anything like he was in the Super Bowl, it's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long season for Patrick Mahomes' top target.
Very
All right. Any parting words before we get on out of here?
obligatory. Fuck the Cowboys.
F the Cowboys, man. Forever and always. Forever and
Obligatory.
always. Um, yeah. All right. Well, I yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Spotify, download, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Adam, listen, YouTube, still
Mhm.
subscribe. I would like you to go on YouTube, watch the video, give us a like, then go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and download that episode. Maybe listen to it twice so you can fully digest the
Watch it
analysis.
twice on YouTube on channel and then listen to it twice
Each
on
channel.
Spotify.
Subscribe to Media Apps, Straight Up Sports. Those are the two it's on right now. We're
Mhm.
working Kinks out, but right now you can find it on those. And then Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it's under Dorm Talks with Chris and John.
You got 4 times to do it.
Listen, we better see those numbers up, all right?
Please do.
All
Please
right.
do.
All
I
right.
enjoy
Thank you so
making
much for
it for you.
listening.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate each one of you. We love y'all. We will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.